Tomorrow series, Between Two Stones. Part 1, the question I skipped. I told you once that the stone can be fixed without being the end of the road. That the mind attaches an ending where the stone never promised one. I want to stay there for a moment longer. Because there's a question I skipped past too quickly and has been sitting with me since. If the stone is not the end, what is the space between one stone and the next? We are trained to think of that space as waiting, as a boarding part, the corridor between two rooms that matter, something to get through, not something to be in. You reach the stone, you feel it, whatever it is you feel, and then the walk resumes, and you already have your eyes on the next one. You are barely gone before you are somewhere else in your mind. I did this too, for a long time. I measured my life by stones and let everything else pass without looking at it. I would arrive somewhere I had waited years for, and before the feeling had even finished arriving with me, I was already asking myself where the next one was. That is not walking, that is skipping, with your eyes closed, over most of your own life. But I don't think that's what the road is doing. The road between two stones is not empty. It is where the walking actually happens. Think about that plainly, without any of the philosophy attached to it yet. The stone is a single point. The road is everything else. If you add up the distance of an entire life, the stones would be a tiny fraction of it. Almost all of it, the overwhelming majority of any life is road. So if we only pay attention when we arrive somewhere, we are only paying attention to a sliver, to a sliver of our own existence. We are spending 99 parts of our life preparing for the one part we've decided is the only one that counts. The stone is the place you arrive, the road is the place you live. And if that's true, then the danger was never in reaching the stone too late, or not reaching a one at all. The danger is treating the road as nothing, as a piece you pay to get to the next fixed point, when the road was a larger part of the whole thing the entire time. Let me ask it a different way. Why does the road exist at all? If the stones are what matter, why not simply move from stone to stone, instantly, without the walking in between? I don't think that's a small question. I think it's the whole question. And the only answer I have is this: because the walking changes you, and the arriving does not. A stone can only be received by whoever arrives at it. It cannot choose who that is. It cannot make you ready. It has no power to shape the person standing in front of it. Whatever you are when you reach it, patient or exhausted, grateful or bitter, whole or in pieces, is exactly who the stone will meet. It does not correct you on the way in. The road does that work instead. Every part of it you walk, whether it feels significant or not, is doing something to you that the stone itself never could. So when a stretch of road feels uneventful, when nothing is happening, when no stone is anywhere in sight, that is not a gap in the story. That is the story doing its quiet work, off camera, where you can't see it yet. It is the part that decides who you will be when the next stone finally appears. I have spoken before about treasure, about what waits behind the stone. Some of it literal, some of it only understanding. But I think I let that idea live only at the destination. And that was a mistake on my part. Because if the road is where almost entire life happens, then it cannot be that all the treasure is saved for the very end of it. That would make most of a life empty by design. I don't believe that. I don't think you should either. Some of what you are looking for is not behind the stone at all. Some of it is scattered along the walking, small, easy to miss, never announced, never lit up for you to weigh. The stone is lit up. You have to be paying attention to the road itself to find any of it. This does not mean every ordinary moment is secretly extraordinary if you squint at it correctly. I'm not interested in convincing you of it. And I don't think that it would be honest. What I mean is narrower. It means the road is not merely the space between rewards. Some of the rewards is built into the walking itself. For those who are actually walking and not just enduring it. I'm not saying the stones don't matter. I say they were fixed and lamented. They are real. They are placed. You don't invent them and you don't get to move them. When you reach one, something in you will know it. The same way you know when you have actually arrived somewhere instead of just passing through. That does not change. Nothing I am saying today undoes what I said before. But a life spent stone to stone, counting arrivals, comparing the distance between this one and the last one, is a life that missed most of itself. You cannot love a road you are only using as a hallway, and you cannot properly receive a stone. The only thing you know how to do is rush toward it. So here's the part I didn't say before. Tomorrow is not only the next stone. Tomorrow is also the road you are on right now. Today, between two stones, you may not even be able to name yet. One behind you that you've already passed. One ahead that you cannot see. You are standing in a part of the story you assumed didn't count. If you are walking and no stone is in sight, you have not lost the path. You are simply in a part of it that was never meant to be a destination. It was meant to be lived in. There is one more thing worth saying, and it is easy to miss because it faces the wrong direction. Most of what I have said so far looks ahead. The next stone, the road still to be walked. But you also have a road behind you, a long one, most likely, and on it somewhere are stones you already passed. I want to ask you something honestly. Do you remember the road on either side of those stones? Or do you only remember the stones themselves, sharp, singular, lit up in memory, with the walking around them faded to almost nothing? If it is the second one, then it is not a flaw in your memory. It is simply what happens when a life is lived stone to stone. The road fades because it was never truly looked at while you were on it. You cannot remember what you did not notice the first time. This is, I think, the clearest cost of the way I used to walk. Not that I missed the stones. I didn't. I reached most of the ones that mattered. What I missed was almost everything else. Years of roads that I could not describe to you. Now, if you ask me, because I was not there for them. Only my body was. I am not saying this to create regret. Regret is its own trap. And it belongs to the road too, not outside it. I am saying it so that the road ahead of you does not vanish the same way the road behind you already has. One more thing, and then I will close. You are not the only one walking. Everyone you know is somewhere on a road of their own, between stones of their own, most of which you will never see and were never meant to. When someone seems to be in a quiet stretch, no stone in sight, nothing announced, nothing that looks like progress from the outside. Remember what I said earlier, that it is not emptiness, that it is a part of their story doing its work when you cannot see it either. Be patient with people who are between stones. You are asking them to explain a part of the road that cannot be explained until it is finished being walked. Part 9. What this asks of you. I don't say this to tell you to stop wanting your next stone. Want it. Walk toward it. That is not the part I am correcting. What I am asking is smaller than that and harder than that. Notice the ground while you are still on it. Do not save your attention for the arrival. Spend some of it now on the part you are actually in, because this part will never come again in exactly this shape. You will not walk this stretch of road twice. I don't know how many stones are left ahead of either of us. I've never claimed to know that, and I won't start now. But I know this. The road is not the waiting room. The road is not the punishment for not having arrived yet. The road is the place where you actually are. Walk it like it counts, because it does. And